Hello everyone, my name is Ari and welcome to the video. It's been a little while since I did one of these life/channel update videos, but there's a lot going on in my life right now, so I feel like there's no better time than to give you all a little bit of insider info than right now. Long story short, I am moving again. I'll get into that more in a second, but if my audio sounds different, well, now you know why. It's also why the footage in the background is some Helldivers 2 gameplay, because I just had it lying around for some reason, and I only just got my PC set up like a day ago, and I need to fiddle with settings and audio before I can actually record anything else. Anyways, the elephant in the room, I moved again. This marks the third move in under a year's time, and oh boy, it sure doesn't get any easier the third time around. The first time was moving out of my parents' place early last year, and it was in with one of my best friends. The landlord in that place was an absolute psychopath who made us feel unsafe and threatened us on multiple occasions over things that were completely within our rights as tenants, so we left. The second place, and the one I recently moved out of, seemed pretty good for a while. The floors were really thin because it was just a standard 2-story house that the landlords cheaply renovated by throwing in a second door and a piece of drywall to make 2 separate entrances, and even though the neighbors had a 2-year-old and a newborn, at the time we really didn't mind. They even told us the day that we moved in, "We've been downstairs tenants before and we know how the noise can be, so we'll try and be as respectful as possible." That was a lie. Turns out the husband was physically and emotionally abusive to the point where we had to call the cops on them on several occasions to report domestic violence. This also made the husband really bitter towards us because we kept calling the cops on him, because he would constantly blast loud music and movies until 1 in the morning and stomp around whenever he walked and scream at things seemingly at random. On top of that, the apartment had a lot of other problems, like the fact that it wasn't up to fire safety code. A basement suite needs to have an easily accessible, non-obstructed window in each bedroom in case of a fire, so you can actually get out. We had 2 tiny windows that did not open, and my roommate's was literally blocked off by cement bricks, and mine led underneath a deck. Not great. Even worse is that we had so many things break on us. Namely, the bathroom literally became a waterfall because the upstairs shower was not installed correctly, and this was a problem that had been known for about a year at the time, and the landlords just didn't do anything about it. So I found an opportunity to move out recently and have now moved in with my girlfriend Gabby, who I'm sure you're familiar with if you've watched my more recent videos. Her landlord is reasonable for a landlord, and her apartment was actually designed as an apartment, so it's quiet and everything mostly works. It is, however, really small. I don't know how many square feet, but it really was only designed for one person to be living here, so we're kind of stretching the boundaries a little bit. That being said, I would rather live in a small place that is quiet and feels safe instead of somewhere that's bigger but has horrible neighbors and cheap landlords. This is quite a commitment, moving in with Gabby. We've only been together for 10 months now, I believe, but we love each other, we're gonna make it work, and we're looking for a bigger place as I write this script. So if you're wondering why I haven't been live for drops and you didn't see the little note that I put in the Discord, I'm taking a small break because moving is awful, believe it or not, especially this time around because it was so sudden that I didn't have time to pack anything. I know drops are always a good time to stream because you get so much more traffic coming your way, and I always get people popping into my chat to drop some kind words and let me know that they like my videos, which warms my heart, by the way. Thank you, you know who you are. But I would rather take as much stress off of myself as I'm moving, and decided to go on a bit of a streaming hiatus until I've got everything moved and I'm all settled in. This also segues into my next topic nicely, being that, if I can be completely honest with you all, I'm just kind of burnt out on Hunt Showdown. I don't know if there's something in the water right now, but it seems like everywhere I go, whenever I see Hunt stuff on social media, there is so much anger and complaining towards Hunt and Crytek. Drops this time especially, I've seen so many people, even some Hunt partners and larger streamers, complain consistently and insult Crytek for not only not having any new drops, but also just other unrelated stuff like trade windows being apparently bad, and the new Lunar New Year Hunter, and Post Malone not seeming to care about the event at all. Hell, I've even seen multiple people actively cheering for the downfall of Hunt Showdown. I'm not one to blindly defend Crytek. I do think that there are some things they could absolutely be doing better, and I'll get to that in a second. but I usually try and stay pretty positive about the general state of the game. I approach pretty much everything Crytek gives us with an open mind because I trust that Crytek knows their own game and is capable of listening to the community. Some people will probably call me stupid and naive for that, but those are usually the same people who are the ones freaking out over a new DLC skin, or screaming that the servers are broken for the billionth time like that's actually going to do anything. It feels like the community is just really split right now, and I think the biggest part of this is due to the most recent event, Murder Circus. A crossover event is a really bold move on Crytek's end, especially after the mixed opinions on the Ghostface DLC last fall. And I think it's really upset a lot of the player base who cares about Hunt's aesthetic integrity and world building. Personally, I don't really care that much. I think the event is fun, and Post Malone, while a bit goofy, has the capacity to fit into the Hunt universe. But for every person who likes the crossover or is simply neutral about it, someone else is screaming about how it ruins the game and the bug fixes and the UI issues and so on. And as much as I dislike these people for bringing lots of seemingly unwarranted negativity to the community, having the UI still be buggy and unfinished on top of other problems that are still persisting in the game after months is a little bit frustrating. The pacing of the events is also what I think is contributing to my burnout. 2 months is a long time, especially when you get less than a month's break in between events and you're on your third in a row. If this is following Crytek's event model from 2023 and early 2024, which so far has been almost identical, we're going to see maybe one smaller event after this, then 4 to 5 months of nothing before the constant events pick back up in the late summer, fall, and winter. I don't know if this is a conscious choice by Crytek in terms of development, or if the higher-ups are pushing this through, but this format is just so draining. And personally, I would rather have smaller events spaced out through a whole year instead of 6 months of non-stop craziness, followed by a content drought at the start of the new year. Will this change? I don't know, but what I can say is that between a really depressing community, event fatigue, and lower player numbers leaving only the diehard sweats playing up in the higher star rankings, I just don't feel much of a drive to play Hunt as much as I did even like a month ago. Moving again has made me take a step back and give some thought as to what I want to do with this channel. And while I have no intention of quitting, nor do I want to stop making Hunt content, I am also considering maybe integrating a second game into the rotation for when feelings like this appear, because this sure as hell isn't the first time that I've felt this way towards Hunt Showdown. If I had to choose a game, it would probably be what you're watching in the background right now, being Helldivers 2. It's technically an extraction shooter, even if it's a bit of a reach saying that, more of a co-op shooter really, but more importantly it has long gameplay, has strong elements of loadout building in it, and can be played solo, which are like the main staples of my channel and my default content. Plus, I'm just really enjoying it right now, and it's nice to have a non-multiplayer game to play, because people just suck sometimes. Let me know what you think about this though, and don't worry, Hunt will still be a main focus on this channel, and I do have some cool ideas for videos that I'm currently working on. Sniper Prestige. Who knows, maybe I'll even replicate what I did with Hunt and bring a little bit of LGBTQ representation to a community that feels very male-dominated. I know that you queer divers exist. But yeah, that's all I really have on my mind. I just wanted to get that out there. Pop-Tart's doing well. For anyone who's going to ask, she's really settled into the new place and has become best friends with Gabby's cat Maiden, and really appreciates having a playmate around the house. Streams will hopefully be back to normal schedule by next week, and again, don't be surprised if you see me spreading a little bit of democracy or playing something that isn't Hunt Showdown. I'll probably test it out with streaming first, and if that goes well or if I get lots of positive reception, then maybe I'll start making a few non-Hunt videos here and there. Anyways, love you all. Good luck to anyone finishing up their battle passes. I hope you enjoyed the drops event, and I'll see you once I'm done with this godforsaken move. Thanks for watching.